All right, you ready, Figgy?
Yeah, I gotta bump in with a classic. In my opinion, a classic.
What's the classic?
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, music in this motherfucker. My boy JP, appreciate it all the way to the A, nigga. Jay Reese here with me, nigga. Shank here. What's happening?
This is like one of my favorite songs from you, bro.
Nigga, stand up, nigga. Scoochie, nigga. Shit. Okay, what my job?
Man, that's that traditional Gucci right there.
Yeah, I always tell people, man, you had the early hungry Gucci, man. Like,
yeah, Gucci, I had that. Yeah.
He's still now, but he was hungry on this.
Yeah, you can hear it in him. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
That's the old Gucci.
That's before the nigga, dog. You can hear it. You can hear it though. The song. Man, that bitch was before its time.
He gave you the ad-libs and everything, man. The classic.
He gave me everything.
How did y'all link up like that, man? Because this was like 06, 05?
This was 08.
08? Okay.
That was 2008. I linked up with him. He had came up here to do a show. And the nigga, my manager at the time, Sam, from Nooks, he blew down on him prior to his show. We went through, what's his name? Paul Stewart, big tall Paul. So we hit up Paul. Paul like, look, man, I'm gonna link y'all right in with him. Boom, boom, boom. So Gucci gave us a set price on, well, we talked to Mama Deb. That's who we talked to. And she was like, you know, people up here, they keep saying like, you know, they want a verse from Gucci, but they'll never fall through. So Sam like, no, like my dude, he's serious. Like we don't play no games. Like we, you know what I'm saying? Well, however y'all want us to do it, we'll do it. So long story short, they end up going to the show. So Sam like, look, man, we gonna go down there to the show. So we go down there to the show. I got the bread on me. We go to his section and shit. And Sam introduced me like, yeah, I'm up and like, okay, yeah, look, this is what we about to do. Like this what we can knock this shit out now, right after the show, or we can go. I'm like, nigga, I'm serious. He like, oh no, man. He like, I fuck with. He like, man, come on stage with me and shit. Oh, and all it was instantly. He like, man, come on stage with me. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't bullshitting. Whatever. We go on stage with him and shit. I kick it on stage with him. He like, man, we gonna knock that shit out tomorrow. I'm like, all right, bet. So the next morning, they call. We gonna go to Fatty Banks studio. We go to Fatty studio and shit. And JP cooked the beat up. He like, I already know where you want to go. I'm like, shit. I made the hook up on the way to the studio. And he like, I let him hear the hook. He like, oh yeah, I already know where you want to go. He like, turn the beat on. He went in that bitch, no pen, no pad. Made that shit up as he went along and shit. Did the ad-lib. He like, I'm gonna do the ad-libs and through the hook. He did the ad-libs through the hook. Made that shit up as he went along. And then it led on to something. We went outside and I was like, look, man, I'm trying to do something else. Like this shit cool, but what's up with that shit? You know what I'm saying? So he read between the lines. He like, I mean, if y'all can read between, he like, nigga, calm down. So you know, we kicking it and shit over the phone and you know, we talking and shit, communicating and shit. So he like, man, I'm about to shoot the street nigga video. He like, come down for the street nigga video. I'm like, fuck it. I tell my nigga Jay Reese, I'm like, man, fuck it. We going to the street. We about to go down there and fuck with Gucci and shit. So we jump in the car. He like, y'all niggas coming down? I'm like, yeah, we about to come down. We jump in the car. We drive down there. We text him like, where you at? He like, shit, we down here. He like, shit, I'm at such and such, such and such. He like, pull up, and he gave us the address. We shoot over there. We pull up. He like, damn, I thought y'all niggas was bullshit. He like, I fuck with y'all niggas, man. He like, I thought y'all niggas was gonna spin me, man.
This in Atlanta?
Yeah, we drove to Atlanta. We drove to Atlanta like a couple weeks later. So we drove down to the A and shit. And you know, he's shooting a street nigga video. I'm in a street nigga video.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I'm in a street nigga video, yo. So we doing a street nigga video and shit. And he did a hood to hood interview where he freestyling. He got the Bart Simpson chain on and Walker standing right behind him. I had a gold Desert Eagle. Waka had my gold Desert Eagle in his Gucci little duffel bag and shit. And he had his hand in there doing like this. But I'm standing on the other side of the camera watching them perform and shit. So I was down there for that little classic little hood to hood interview he did too. But nigga, we was rocking. We was rocking ever since then though, man. That nigga a real nigga, man. I fuck with dude.
That's a dope story, man. And that really was classic vintage Gucci, man, with the Bart Simpson chain, with the Waka Flocka. That was one of the good old days, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
That's also something that was kind of unique to Southern rappers too, because I always felt like, you know, in the early days of hip hop, you couldn't just go to the biggest stars and ask them for a verse or pay them whatever and then get a verse. Like they was very Hollywood with it sometimes, you know, especially the New York people. Like you could just go to Nas and get a verse from Nas. But Southern rappers, man, like Gucci Mane will do a verse for anybody, you know, as long as he fuck with you. Same thing with Houston rappers. Like, you know, when we were doing it big with Slim Thug, Paul Wall, you could walk up to them and ask them, like, they would be cool with it to cut you off with a verse. So yeah, that was something really unique about Southern rappers.
That's real. That's that Southern hospitality.
Yeah, and my bad. We didn't do the introductions yet. We got caught up in the stories, man. So let's roll it back a little bit, and so this is our next edition of the Gems and Juice Artist Spotlight. We have a special guest, another special guest joining us again today. Good friend of Figgy's also as well. This man goes by the name of RTN Shank. So appreciate having you on the show, man. And first off, before we get started, I want to know, like, Figgy, how'd you meet RTN Shank? How'd y'all meet back in the day?
I always knew who Shank was back in the day because, you know, obviously the song and all that, but pretty much where I grew up, man. I grew up off of 123rd and Leonard Crave, and he used to always come around. I remember he I want to say he did a couple shows and we showed up and we was all like cool. And I remember coming to the apartment in Bedford and all that shit.
Yep.
Mornings, we ride to Walmart and all that other shit. So yeah, man, Shank always been around.
Okay. So how'd you get into rapping, man? I want to know that too. Like how, because I know Figgy was in the game too. He says he's retired, but I think we gonna bring him out of retirement sooner or later. But Shank, how'd you get into hip hop and how'd that journey start for you, man?
Man, when I was young, right? I think I was like 11 years old, and my mom got killed and shit, right? But I always heard, you know, everybody used to always tell me that my mom used to rap. She used to rock shows, you know what I'm saying? She used to stay across the street from Curtis Blow. They used to freestyle together, this shit. Because I'm from New York. So, you know what I'm saying? So when she got killed, I found a letter that she wrote to my uncle. And she was rapping. She wrote him a rap. So it was like kind of like a diss song kind of rap. She was dissing him a little bit, but she was popping her shit. So I'm reading it. It was crazy as I lost the fucking letter, man. You know what I'm saying? I lost the letter. She was writing him in jail and shit. So I read that, boom, boom, boom. So after that transpired, I was 11 years old. I tried to write a rap at like 12, 13, but it was terrible. So after that, I used to rap East Coast nigga shit that was already out, that was underground. Like in high school, I was around like in the 11th grade, 11th, 12th grade in high school. And, you know, they niggas would have a cypher in the auditorium. So I'll be in there spitting in the auditorium, but I'll be rapping Beanie Siegel verse off of underground DJ Clue mixtape. So everybody like, damn, that nigga Shank, that nigga can rap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm rapping like half a meal. See, people ain't hip to these niggas. Like half a meal, Nature, nigga named Journalist, and Fab when he was with the Desert Storm crew. You know, I used to have all they mixtapes, so I would remember they shit and go to school and rap they shit. So this dude named Tony, he he was the rapper of the school. Like everybody knew him from rapping. Like, oh yeah, Tony hot, man. You know, if you talk about a rapper, you're gonna talk about Tony. So Tony didn't like that I was getting this recognition, but he didn't know that I was rapping other people's shit neither. So he took it upon himself to diss me. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? So the nigga Tony dissed me, come to school, they play it, they like, man, you heard the shit that Tony said about you, the song and shit. So I'm like, man, I go back to the projects because I'm from the Valley and shit, there's projects in Cleveland. I go back to the projects like, hey man, this nigga just made a diss song about me, man. Let's go back to the school, after school and tune this nigga up. Let's whoop him, let's jump him. He a big dude. But that's what we used to do back in the day. We jump shit. The project niggas, we was known for jumping shit. That's what we do. We jump niggas. So I'm like, all right, bet. We about to go up to the school and jump. They like, no. This is what we've been waiting on. Let's diss him back. Let's get back. Because everybody in the projects, they was rapping. I wasn't a rapper. I would try to fit in, but them niggas was the real rappers though. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of inspired me too. So they like, no, man, we about to diss this nigga. So I'm like, fuck it. So I go write a rap. Before I write the diss song, I write a song with my nigga Lenny. So Lenny write his verse. I'm writing the verse. It was to this song, Killer Priest, called For My Thugs or some shit like that. It was to that beat. So when I rap this shit, Lenny looking at me like, he like, damn, man, how the fuck you just come up with that, man? So I'm like, what you mean? Like, what you mean? He like, nigga, that shit hard as fuck. He like, rap it again. He like, man, I don't even want to rap my verse. I'm about to do another one. So instantly I'm like, damn, like I can rap. So now that gave me the courage to write this diss song on the Tony nigga. So now I go write the diss song, put it on the ether beat. We diss him to the ether beat. We go record it. And so I took the bitch back to school. It was like towards the end of school, you know what I'm saying? Like the end of the school year. So people was barely there as far as like the teachers and shit. So I walked up in his class. He was in the classroom with his mom. I walked up in the class. We had the bitch on CD. I put the bitch in the CD player, slammed it, played it in front of him and his mama. And like, take that, motherfucker. I'm on his ass too on there. I'm on his ass on that bitch. And everybody talking like, damn, you heard Shank? Like that nigga can rap. He dissed Tony. And so that's what gave me the confidence to keep rapping. Now I done wrote some Jake shit in between, you know what I'm saying? Finding my niche, but actually, you know, then I took it serious in 06. I took it serious in 06, 05, 06, and I got lucky with a manager and the Bitch I'm from Cleveland mixtape, and I wrote Rep My Hood, and Money on the Floor, and it was on from there. It just took off. Like I just was lucky, you know what I'm saying? Plus everybody knew me and shit, so I was known for other shit. You know what I'm saying? For some other shit. I was known for that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't hard for me to get my music to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew me. Like I was kind of already popular for doing other shit. So it just worked out. It just worked out for me, man. Like that's actually how it all began and started. I never even really told nobody that shit. But that's how it all really transpired, from me reading that letter from my mom, knowing that she rapped, to rapping other people's shit, to writing my own shit, the little Jake shit in between time, then the Bitch I'm from Cleveland, meeting DJ EV and my manager Sam and all that shit, and it just took off. I ended up being in the loop with the whole Cleveland underground scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that mix, that whole Bitch I'm from Cleveland shit. But who I forgot the DJ, Pretty Boy Floyd.
No, that was EV made that.
Oh, really?
EV made the Bitch I'm from Cleveland. It was originally supposed to be Chip's album. Chip his album was gonna be called Bitch I'm from Cleveland. But Chip was like, yeah, Chip the Ripper. He like, man, I want it to be everybody from Cleveland, like a whole Cleveland mixtape, not just my mixtape. Let's do it like that. And you know, EV took it upon himself to, you know, find the artist to put on there and whatever, and that shit just jade off. That bitch was crazy.
Damn.
Yeah. And then we did the concert. We did a Bitch I'm from Cleveland concert, and it was crazy. You know, it's like that whole music scene in that era, man. That shit was phenomenal, man. That shit was, we'd never get that back.
Yeah, what do you think the problem is now? Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't know the temperature of the music in Cleveland now, but what do you think the problem was? Because that was a good time. That was a good era as far as Cleveland music. But what do you think the problem is with it now?
Originality. Now, that's what I see. Because I see everybody trying to rap like other people. It be hot, but niggas rapping like Detroit rappers. Everybody rapping like they from Detroit in Cleveland, mainly. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe, you know, it's people that rap different, but from what I see, like when they tell me to come listen to their music, when I listen to their music, I hear as soon as I hear that Detroit vibe, I don't even give it a chance. Because it's not, that ain't us. Like, I don't want to, that's just me. I want to hear somebody from Cleveland rap like they from Cleveland, man. Like, we got our own love, you know what I'm saying? We got our own shit going on. Like, we got our own style. So, you know, like how the capping shit was. We had our own style. We had our own way. So people was listening to that because we had an identity. Now Cleveland don't have an identity. So it's hard for people to embrace something that sound like Ice Red Vezo, or like, damn, you sound like, that's what I think. That's just my opinion though. I could be wrong, you know, but that's just my opinion though. I think people not embracing it because it just sound like, it don't sound authentic. You could be talking some real shit. You could be a real street nigga or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if it's sounding like somebody else, like, you know, I don't, you know, I'm cool. I really can't, I don't dig that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't feel it. So I think that's probably what's wrong now.
That's actually kind of want to ask you too, because I have a hard time trying to pin down like what the Cleveland sound is, because I know a good number of Cleveland rappers, but they all kind of sound different. You know, everybody know Bone Thugs, everybody know Kid Cudi. You mentioned Chip the Ripper. So who was your inspiration? You mentioned some New York rappers, but who was your inspiration? Because everybody in the beginning has some people that, you know, they admire and kind of want to sound like before they kind of find their own voice. So who were your inspirations when you were first getting into rap?
Half a Meal, AZ. AZ was my favorite rapper. AZ and Shine. Them two was my favorite rappers. And Half a Meal was too though. And let me see, who else was it? T.I. I like T.I. But I was more East Coast, like Mobb Deep. I was a big Prodigy fan. Let me see, who else? This guy named Littles. Littles, they don't even know Littles. It's just so underground that, you know what I'm saying? These dudes, and the Locks. I listen to the Locks a lot. I listen to a lot of Fabulous. Those were my inspiration. It wasn't really nobody from the South that I was inspired by, but Cash Money, everybody from Cash Money, Hot Boys, Birdman, all that shit. I listened to all that shit. Like that was my Southern choice of music to listen to. Or T.I. or Young Dro. I fuck with Young Dro too. But all of them people, they were my inspiration. All of them people, like in one block, in one pot. You mix them up, you know, like gumbo, boom, and then you spit me out. You know what I'm saying? But I had the same problem that people nowadays got in Cleveland. Like, I was trying to sound like Lil Wayne a lot. And then I found my own voice and my own, you know, style, I just got my dude Casa, he got me in tune with being myself. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Casa is dope and underrated, man.
yeah, y'all. He really got me in tune with being myself and finding myself and helping me. He said little shit, but I watched him as far as in the studio goes. Like, I watched and mimicked a lot of things from him. and you know, I just took it and put my own spin on it, and I came up with Shank, with Young Shank, and then I found my identity. JP helped me a lot too, though. JP, the producer, JP did this one. He helped me a lot too, man. So shout out to JP, but that's what that shit. That was my inspiration though. That was what was it. That's what it was.
So I gotta ask you this, man, because we was talking about Gucci earlier. Now it was word on the street that he was trying to sign you to, I don't know if it was So Icy or 1017 Brit Squad.
I think it was 1017. It was 1017. And
what happened? Yeah, what happened with that?
I ain't want to do it because of JP. Me and JP had this producer artist thing going on, right? So I'm like, man, I can't go nowhere if I don't want to if I can't bring JP. You know what I'm saying? And Waka was like, man, y'all niggas could be 1017 up north. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all could represent that and da 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 da. And I had the song with Gucci. Waka had it on his MySpace page. They all had it on their MySpace page. They was fucking with me. But I can't. I'm such a loyal dude. I can't do that to JP. Me and JP put in a lot of work. And then these guys up here called 40 Watts, they tried to sign me. You know what I'm saying? So 40 Watts tried to sign me. But then again, I brought JP to the table. Like, look, man, me and him did a lot of production together and da da da. Then they tried to milk 40 Watts for the studio time, beats, and all that shit. They like, damn, man, if we want to buy him from y'all, I never even signed no contract with JP or nothing. I just was loyal.
Yeah.
So they like, damn, it's gonna take over 100,000 for me to get you. They talking about studio time costs this much, the beats cost this much, and we want to own all this shit. So damn, I'm like, damn. I ain't even know it like that. I'm just trying to keep it 100 and do business the right way and bring JP on board. But now they talking this crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So 40 Watts fell back. They're like, it ain't nothing I can do. Like, we don't want to, that shit, like that shit a headache. So then, next thing you know, me and JP continue to work until our relationship he's still cool. Like, that's my nigga. But it just fell off, fell apart. Now I still got my loyalty, or you know what I'm saying, the fact that I was being loyal, but at the same time, I probably could have been further in my career if I wouldn't have been loyal. So it's like, this is the music game. Being loyal, it don't get you no motherfucking where. You gotta be for yourself in this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna be for yourself in this shit, then you gonna have a hard time, man. So that's my advice, nigga. Be for yourself, man.
Yeah.
Nigga,
that's crazy, because I used to always tell people, like, man, Shank is the only one to me that should have been way further than he is now. And I think that is true, man. Like, I feel like, I guess being a good person, it kind of don't really get you nowhere. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, he a real nigga. That's a real nigga.
That's it.
Yeah, but sometimes it really holds you back. You really, if you look at all the people that moved out of Cleveland, they actually had to step away from the certain people to get further. Look at MGK, look at Chip. Like, all them dudes had to actually step away from the city to, you know, further their career.
Even Ray Cash, he left and got on.
Yeah.
And when he left and got on and came back, everybody like, who the fuck is that? He ain't where the fuck he come from? But he really was from Cleveland. He just left and got on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And honestly, man, the city's so small. Like, I didn't realize how small Cleveland was as far as the market until I moved to Houston. Because, like, here in Houston, they got like 2 or 3 different rap stations. Like, everybody in competition. It's a lot to choose from. But in Cleveland, it's like, I mean, you know, it's the one DJ you got to go to if you want your song. Yep. And he could do whatever he want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta pretty much suck him off to, you know, try to get your shit played at 10 o'clock at night.
You can't even pay some of these niggas, man. You can't even come up like, man, I got this amount of money, man. Play my shit on it. They don't even respect that. Like, I don't know what the fuck they respect here, man. I don't know what if a nigga asks me like, hey man, what direction I need to go, man, to get on in Cleveland, man? What can I do? How can I get my shit to the DJs? I'll be like, man, I don't know what the fuck you gonna do, bro. Like you just gotta. I'm assuming you gotta make them see you or make them like you or something. I have no idea, man. Yeah. I don't know. I know that everybody music ain't raw, so you're not gonna play shit like, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna play everything that somebody bring you, because some niggas be bringing you bullshit and you don't gotta play it. But I've heard a lot of shit that's hard, like the dude Kimball. Remember him? He got killed.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Why wasn't his shit being played until he died? Like I never even heard of this dude until he died, man. But he was hard as fuck. But nobody knew until he died. Now everybody playing his music. It's like, so if he was still alive, how much recognition would have really got? So I don't know.
Yeah, it's super weird. I tried to figure it out too. I feel like if you have like a certain type of feature, then you know you might get played at 10 o'clock at night. But other than that, man, like I feel like you really got to move out and get your shit going out of town, and then they will see you doing your shit and find out you from Cleveland. You know, somebody like the baby, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, let's play his shit. Like this dude from Cleveland. It's like, man, that dude ain't been in Cleveland since he was like 9 years old, and now y'all want to y'all want to put that up on
this dude. Yeah, man, that's I don't. That shit crack, because I go out of town. I was in LA recording a video. Just a video. I had people walking up to me like, man, that shit hard, man. I want to follow you on Instagram and da-da-da. What's your Snapchat? Like, man, I want to see. And they still in contact with me. This in LA though. Like, damn, man, are you serious though? Like, but in my own hometown, I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. Like it's confusing to me. That's why I just, you know, I do my own thing. It's a hobby for me now.
You know man. You just gotta step out, man. I don't know if you're looking into moving, but man, if you step out, man, you'll meet all type of different people and move in a different direction, man.
Yeah, that shit.
I ain't go back at all, man. I've been gone for 4 years. I ain't never moving back to Cleveland.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. I'm telling you, I feel you, man. They dropping like flies out here, man. Our dude just got killed this morning. Money T.
Oh, wait, what?
Money T got killed this morning, man.
Oh man, I ain't know that. Damn.
Yeah, Money T got killed this morning on Linda Craig.
Damn, I ain't know that.
Yeah, yes, bro.
That's like, one, and we was talking about it earlier. That's one of the dudes we used to go to your house with.
Like,
yeah.
He was one of the pioneers.
The
main dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I ain't know that. Wow.
Yeah, man. When one motherfucker's gonna step up and, you know, like, you gotta, like, leaving is sometimes the best thing to do from this motherfucker, man. Like, seriously. Hell yeah, man. This shit real up here, man. Shit real. I live so motherfucking far. I be falling asleep driving home at night. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like, it's unfortunate that you sometimes you got to move out to make the bigger moves, because you would expect to get more love in your hometown, and you usually do, but it's the same everywhere, man. Unless you're in a place like Atlanta, which seems like you can just be there and make it. But everybody, even in Houston too, like, everybody feels like they got to move out to make some major moves because they don't get the hometown love that they should get, you know, from their people. So it's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, sometimes you got to move away to make a way, though. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It just is what it is.
Now you did mention before the podcast talking to Figgy, you had done some time in 2016. I don't want to be all Vlad TV with it and investigate and say, what did you do exactly? But
no, it's cool. It's over with. Shit, the hanging was there. Huh? They got me. Shit.
So we're glad to see you now, free man, of course, dripped out, making us look broke over here with a rollie and a robe. I see you, man. So it's good to see you thriving and out now. But what exactly, what kind of happened there? And what was that journey like? And what was it like getting out and finally being free again?
It's crazy, man. The whole out. Honestly, I just was ready to go to jail and put that shit behind because the case was just lingering over my head for so fucking long. You know, and I was on probation for 5 years because I'm fucking with a nigga from Atlanta. He was bringing weed up here. He get jammed up and told him that the shit was mine.
Oh, man.
He my whole little joint. You know what I'm saying? He the man. He get jammed up, tell him it's mine. I said, oh Lord have mercy. What the fuck I got myself? And I knew that he told, because when they had me in the back of the police car and they went and got him, and when they brought him out, he was crying already. This nigga a grown man. He crying like a motherfucker. I'm laughing. I'm like, this nigga crying. So then the police like, man, we already know what's going on, man. Da, 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 da. I said, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. They like, man, look, if you just give us a statement, man, we'll let you. I said, man, that shit ain't mine. They like, so you saying this his? I said, listen, I'm not saying that shit his because I don't know him. But that shit ain't mine. That's what I'm telling you. Y'all search my car, y'all ain't find shit. Y'all trying to say some shit, man, that y'all ain't found in my car? No. So they like, well, somebody talking this. So I said, who talking? They like, he said that all that shit yours. I'm like, oh man, y'all really tripping out. I'm like, y'all really tripping out. Like that shit ain't mine. So long story short, they take me to jail. They like, so I'm like, well, you know, we going to trial. They like, well, we'll see you at trial. I'm like, all right. Never even made it to trial because the case was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer ate their ass up because I never went to his car. I never even had a chance to go to his car, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So my lawyer ate that case up, but I got 5 years probation for it because I had weed in my mouth. They gave me 5 years probation for tampering with evidence. And that was the weed that I had in my mouth. But I had a mean ass judge. Her name was Kathleen Satula. She mean to the motherfucker. They call her one of the horsemen, 4 horsemen. You don't want to get one of the horsemen downtown Cleveland, man. If you get one of the horsemen, just get all your belongings, your affairs together and shit. Because you going to jail. You going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So get everything you got to do in order and before you go to court. Because you're going to jail. But she gave me 5 years probation. So I ended up fucking up again with this new case. And I was on my way to go meet a broad, man, at a bar. And I was dirty. I had some weed, I had some pounds in the trunk. So, and I had a gun in the car, and I had money on me. Knowing that I don't supposed to be riding like this, I was supposed to go drop this shit off before I go meet this girl. I went to meet the girl anyway. I feel invincible. Fuck it, ain't nothing gonna happen. Man, I meet her, have some drinks, get on the freeway, leave from her, get on the freeway. My headlight went out. I'm in a newer Lexus. The headlight go out on the motherfucker, man. So as soon as I get off the freeway, I'm living in Kirtland, Ohio. It's like predominantly white people. It's all white people, basically. So when I get off the freeway, they pull me over instantly. Like, hey, man, license and insurance. I give him my license and insurance. So now he come back to the car. He like, I smell weed, man. Could you step out the car? Now, I know I got this shit in the car, man. So now I gotta make an executive decision right now. Am I gonna leave this nigga or am I gonna just give it to him? Or am I gonna make this nigga work for it? So I'm like, man, I'm looking right out the window at him just like this. I said, man, you don't smell no weed, man. I don't even know what made me say that. I know he smell of weed.
That's
said,
like
man,
that's like the cops' go-to line, though. I've been pulled over so many times, and they said they smell weed, and I don't even smoke. Like
Man,
nobody.
that shit was,
That's like a go-to line.
But you don't understand the feeling that I got because at this moment I know there's no way around this shit.
Yeah,
I'm going to jail. It's on. The nigga say I smell weed. He stepped back and was like, "Could you take a step out the car?" Man, I put that bitch in drive so fast, man. I pulled off on him. He like, oh shit. The whole time I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I'm beating on the glove box, the armrest thing. I'm like, fuck.
You had a girl in the car too?
Nah, she wasn't.
Okay.
I was dolo, but I got the gun in the car. And this was right around the time when police kept shooting everybody. So I'm like, shit. I hit the corners. I hit a couple corners. Boom, boom, boom. I grabbed the gun, take the clip out the gun, toss the gun. Then I tossed the clip afterwards. Then I hit another corner, and the car skid out. Boom, and it hit up, skid in somebody's grass. So I'm about to jump out. And I'm like, fuck. I put the money in my pocket. I had him because on one of the turns, I turned the lights off. And I seen him keep going straight. So he had to back up and then come back down. So I had him. So when the car skid out, I stuffed my pockets with the money, reached in the back seat, pulled the bitch down and grabbed the pounds with there's like a garbage bag. So I jump out and I hear him like, now he on me. He like, stop, freeze. I'm like, man, you gotta work for this shit. I ain't just about to get it, man.
Scary.
You gotta do your job, man. You gotta do your job, man. I know I ain't got no gun on me. So you gotta do your job, man. I'm running. I hit the back, this like the back of these houses and shit. So I'm running with the shit. And Lord behold, I fail. Out of all the shit I could do, nobody in sight of nothing, I fall. But when I fail, I bounce back up. And I still had the weed and shit, so I go around the building and throw the weed on the roof. And then I called this chick. I hid in somebody's bushes. I called this chick, my ex-girlfriend, Cashmere, man. That's my baby. I said, man, look, I'm like, man, I just ran from the police, man. I don't even know where I'm at. She's like, where you at? I was like, man, I'm in somebody's yard. I'm in the library. She came and got me, picked me up, dropped me off. And then when she dropped me off, look at this, check this shit out. She come in with me though. When it's time to drop me off, she come in my brother's house with me and shit. I'm pacing and shit. My stomach hurts. So I'm like, man, I got a shit. Cause I'm nervous. So I'm nervous. So I got a shit. So while I'm in there using the bathroom, guess what she doing? She going through my phone.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, man. She done went through my phone looking at my DMs and shit and my text messages and shit. And while I'm using the bathroom, she like, Shank, guess where I'm at? I'm like, what? She's like, I'm in your phone. I don't even know if I white, bruh. I jumped up off that motherfucking toilet and ran out the door, grabbed my phone. She crying and shit. I'm like, damn, man, I just ran from the police. She crying. Like, she done caught me doing some shit. Like, this shit, it just was terrible. That whole little series of events was just horrible for me that night. I'm like, man, karma kicking my ass. I don't know what I did, but it's kicking my ass. But I ended up the next day, I ended up calling Pooh Gutter because I seen my weed still on the roof where I threw it at. They ain't find it. So I called him and we went and got a ladder and shit, put the ladder up to the roof. He clammed up there. I gave him $400, $400 or $500 to go get my shit. He threw the weed down to me. He jumped down, we run. But this big ass nigga told me to catch him. He's sitting on the roof with his feet swinging like this. And he like this, he like, catch me. He like, I said, nigga, if you don't get your big ass down, man, if you don't jump, nigga, I'm about to catch you, nigga. You crazy? So he jumped down, and we ended up running this shit and got away with the shit, man. Then I went and turned myself in, man. I had to turn myself in, man. They gave me 2 years for that and 18 months for probation violation. So I ended up with 3.5 years, man.
Damn.
In Lake Erie Correctional Institution.
So that was, I ain't trying to sound stupid, but that was kind of smart then, because if you would have got caught then and there, you probably would have had more time, right?
I probably would have got the same time, but I would have had less money because they'd have had my weed, they would have had my money. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have been in a fucked up predicament. You know what I'm saying? So I probably would have got the same time, but I would have been in a worse predicament than I already was in. So yeah, but that shit was real, man. Jail is real. Like nigga, I don't wish that shit on nobody. Jail is real. I knew it was real when I got to Lorraine Correctional Institution and we all came in off that bus and we lined up against the wall and they told us to strip naked. It's 15, 20 of us in one about 10, 15 of us in one room. Lined up against the wall. They said strip. I'm in that bitch like, man, strip. And there's niggas in here. Ain't nobody brushed their teeth. Nobody brushed their teeth. It smelled, it stink. Ain't niggas ain't took baths or nothing. Cause well, a lot of niggas is nasty, man. You found out when you go to jail that a lot of niggas that you see on the streets, they be in all this designer and all that shit. Them niggas is nasty, man. They don't like to wash their ass. So we in the room, we land up against the wall. We got to strip all our clothes off naked and squat, and they looking in our ass and all type of shit, man. Not with their hands, but like with their eyes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit crazy, man. That was real. Then they shave your head, and all that shit. They do you. That shit real, man. They treat you like an animal in that motherfucker.
Man,
that shit real. That jail crazy. Shit real.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that too, man, because usually you know how it is. We cool with people who keep going back and forth to jail. It seemed like you're not like that at all, man. You got out and it seemed like you've been traveling more, you living life more, seeing you working out. So what was the motivation behind that? Just life after jail.
My motivation was them bitches that did me wrong when I was in jail. They was acting like a nigga had life. And all the people that was like, was acting a certain kind of way because I was locked up. I found out who was my real friends and who wasn't. So, and then I had time to sit and learn like where I was going wrong, the mistakes I was making when I was on the streets, why I couldn't never get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? Why I couldn't meet the right girl. Why I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Why my friends are always, and I'm like, damn, now I know what's up. And on top of that, bitch, you did me dirty. This bitch was talking smart and everything while I'm in the joint. You ain't never talked smart to me a day in your life. But I had one bitch told me, watch your mouth. I'm talking to her and something. She like, watch your mouth. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you know what? You right. I'm gonna watch my mouth because you got it right now. But guess what? I'm working out. I look good. I look good in a motherfucking one. I'm ripped up. I ain't tripping. That was my motivation. I'm like, man, when I get out, when they see me, man, they gonna go crazy, man. I already know. You know what I'm saying? So when I finally got out, the chick that told me to watch my mouth, she had called my dude, like, hey man, tell that nigga I said to come home and have my babies. And now this, I've been out like a year already now, 6 months, a year already. She like, tell that nigga I said, come home and have my baby. I told my nigga, I said, tell her how I said, watch her mouth. Straight like that. Straight like that. Watch your mouth, bitch. You ain't got nothing. We ain't got nothing. Now I don't call all women bitches, but she was a bitch. You know what I'm saying? She was a bitch, man. I ain't even gonna lie, but watch your mouth, man. You know that it ain't that. But that was my motivation, man. All them women that was doing me dirty, they didn't have kids. One chick had a kid, came to visit me while she was pregnant. I ain't even know she was pregnant. She like, I just got something to tell you. She's like, yeah, I'm pregnant by your friend. I'm like, damn. I'm pregnant by a dude that's your friend. And the dude that's my friend, he hated on me to get the pussy. He basically told her all this
Dirty macking.
shit that, dirty. He was D-macking. D-macking. He was dirty macking. Nigga dirty macking told her all this shit about me. He get it. He finally end up hitting her. He get her pregnant. And she came to the visit room, and I'm like, damn, I'm thinking like her stomach looked funny, man. Like, man, what's up with that motherfucking stomach? So she like, man, I got something to tell you. Like, I'm pregnant. She like, but I don't want the baby. I don't want to be with him. I want to be with you and all of this shit. She like, I'm gonna get an abortion if you want me to get. I said, oh no, you got me. I'm not about to decide that for you and that man child. Like, nigga, is you crazy? But that's some shit that she said that just goes to show you how foul she was. You know what I'm saying? She asked me, do I want her to get an abortion for her and another nigga? What type of this is the people that these is maggots, man. Her name was Maggot. Me and my dude, we call her Maggot. Like, he's like, who you coming to see you? Who coming to visit you today? He was like, Maggot. I'm like, yeah, this is the Maggot coming up here to visit me. You know what I'm saying? It's just nonchalantly like that. You know, yeah, this is the Maggot. So she ended up getting an abortion or whatever, and I just was like, you know, I don't want you. Then she meet another dude, get off my visitor list and all that shit. But you know, that just was motivating me even more. And when I came home, yeah, she tried too. So I just knew what it was gonna be. So all of them bad things that was happening, it just made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew when I came home, it was on. Because I had this mindset that I'm not going back to this shit no more. And I'm not about to be doing the same shit that I was doing when I was out the first time. So my mindset was completely different. Like, I was a completely different Shank when I came out. And I knew that. So, you know, I kind of motivated myself. I used that negative energy to create a positive. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man. That's actually really inspirational because a lot of people, you know, and I know people too, like they go to prison and they come out worse. You know, they come out more in the underworld. They come out more determined, like they basically like fuck life at this point. So that's good you had that motivation during that tough time to better yourself and improve your situation, man. But I would say, man, honestly, I feel like you need a TV series on your life, dog, because these stories have been more entertaining than the show Power, man. Like, you need some kind of TV series or something because you got a crazy story, man, and that's really entertaining, but also pretty inspirational, man. So that's wild.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man. That was a hell of an experience for me and for my family because usually I'm the one that, you know, provide for my family. You know, I don't got no kids, but I got brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts, and they always look to me for advice, financial, you know, if they in the financial bind and everything, but they didn't have me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have me at the time. I was gone, so it wasn't really nothing I can do for them at that time. So that kind of helped me too. But when I came home, I didn't have shit. Like, they gave me my uncle gave me $1,000 in a '98 Honda. And my nigga Ray gave me $2,000. So that was my jump start. I had $3,000, but I needed all that shit to buy clothes and coats and shit. I used that to buy coats and clothes because I was so skinny. I was only 186 pounds.
Damn.
I'm used to being 228. You know what I'm saying? So me being 198 pounds now, 190 pounds now, I need all new everything. Because in jail, there wasn't nothing to do but work out all day, every day. So I just shredded. You know what I'm saying? I just was so fucking skinny, man. So when I came home, I didn't even look like the same person no more. I was little. So, you know, but I do appreciate them for doing that for me. I ain't complaining nothing. I just was like, hey man, I appreciate it. Thank you. I ended up using that shit for what I had to use it for. And then I was broke. Like I ain't had shit. My cousin Dre Prada called me, man. I was on the phone with this nigga. This was June 2019. June 2019. About like May or June 2019. I'm on the phone with him and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like Unc turned his back on me. This is the only person that I can go to when to get something so I can make some money with or do anything. He turned his back on me, said he ain't fucking with me no more because of somebody else in our family did something to him. So he held me liable for that shit when I didn't even have no knowledge of what was going on. So I'm like, fuck it. Now I ain't got him. I don't have nobody. And I'm talking to my cousin, Dre Prada. I'm like, I'm damn near in tears. Like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, man. I'm like, man, I'm about to go get a job. Like, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be out here living like this, man. I got $500-$600 to my name. So I gotta go get a job. And then my dude pulled up, Fig, you know him. I can't say his name, but he pulled up. He like, man, what you? I'm like, man, I got $500-$600, man. He like, man. He like, look, man, I'm gonna help you out, man. And da-da-da. So he ended up helping me. And now I'm here where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? I took his advice and all that shit, and I ended up doing what doing what I had to do and making my investments, and I made it work. And I chose not to, ever do that shit again, man. Go that route again. Yeah, man. So now I'm like, I ain't asked nobody for shit. I took my own little cash that I had and did what I had to do with that shit with him. So, and I was able to step up and, make my investments and make it work, man. So that shit was real, man. And that was I swear, man, that was a life changing moment, man. When I was talking to him on the phone and I ain't had nowhere to go.
Damn.
And you know what I'm saying? I had to make something happen. And he told me, he like, man, this ain't like you, man. He like, man, you better get out there and make something happen, man. Like, you got to do something. Like, man, I'm gonna go get a job. Fuck it. I ain't got no shit, nigga. In jail, we was working for $20 a month. You think I ain't about to come out here and work for $10, $15 an hour? And I was just making $20 a month in jail? You got me fucked up. The pride gone. Pride gone when I had to strip in front of these niggas on the wall. That was my pride right there. It left right there, right then and there. So I don't give a fuck about working no job. I go work a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn. It's good to see you like that, man. Because a lot of dudes, they're not like that. It seems like they cool with going to jail, cool going in and out the jail, man.
Yeah.
Like I always said, to me that's never cool, man. To me it's more embarrassing to have to go to jail like that. So it's good to see you.
It's embarrassing.
Mindset like this, yeah.
Yeah. It's embarrassing being in jail. Don't let no nigga tell you that, oh man. If a nigga tell you that, man, I was in jail, nigga, it was, man, we was doing this, man. I don't give a fuck about going to jail. He's a fucking idiot, man. Don't never take no advice from. Eliminate him out your circle. He ain't good. He bad for the environment because jail is an evil, negative place, man. Like that shit, it'll suck you in. Like I found myself being negative. It was a nigga, I don't even know this dude. He walking through the yard. I'm just like, man, I don't like that nigga. I don't even know him. We ain't never said two words to each other. But the energy that jail gives you is negative. And I'm like, man, I don't like that nigga. And we fighting over phones, like who get rotation on the jail phone. This shit ain't even ours. Niggas getting beat up over soups and shit. They value small and petty things. You know what I'm saying? So if that's your mindset that you can keep going back and being in that environment and you content with that, then me and you can no longer be friends. Flat out. Because the jail is embarrassing, man. You need everybody. You need you depend on everybody for everything, man, and you
Yeah.
put that pressure on your loved ones, man. And if you good with that, then man, you less of a man, man. For sure. You can't be complacent with that kind of environment, man. You can't.
Man, you right. And that's kind of why I feel like unusually long prison sentences are like cruel and unusual punishment for people. Because unless you killed somebody, like doing a 20-year bid, there's no way you're going to come out and be a normal person doing 20
Hell
years in
no.
prison, man. You did 3 and you said it changed you then, when
Yeah.
you were in there thinking negative. Think if somebody did 10, 15, 20 years, man. There's no way you can come back to the regular world and be normal, man. It's not going to
You
happen.
can't.
You
It's over
indoctrinated at that
with.
point.
Yeah, it's called insty. You
Yep.
institutionalized. You institutionalized, man. I was institutionalized after 3 years.
Yeah.
I was institutionalized, man. Like everything, when I first came home, it was like everything that I was doing or seeing, like I was like people, if somebody too close to me and shit, I'm watching me. Or like I'm watching everybody around me and I don't trust people. But it's like I'm free, man. I ain't gotta think like that no more. But like now I'm just like, damn, what this nigga on? Like, is he trying to what's you know what I'm saying? What's his motive? But at the same time, I was there for so long. And then like when you there for so long and you wake up and see these people every day, they
Yep.
become your brothers. So when I left, I cried because I couldn't bring these niggas with me. Cause they was my brothers, man. Like these niggas, I woke up and seen these niggas every day for 3 years. We shared food. When they ain't had nothing, I gave them food. When I ain't had no food, they gave me food. When if something J off, they right there, they got my back. Football games, basketball games, you know what I'm saying? Church. Why we watching football games? Like you become blood, man. Like y'all become in sync, man. I was like attached to these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of the dudes that I was attached to had life. Like they had a long ass time, like at least 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like damn, I'm about to leave these niggas and these was my niggas. Like they can't come with me and I damn sure don't want to stay. So you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like a gift and a curse leaving because I was leaving my brothers, but then again I was gaining my freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that shit was crazy. And I'm like, damn, these niggas still gotta be going through this shit every day. Like waking up, I'm sleep right here. We was in the dorm. I'm sleep right here. Nigga sleep right here. Nigga sleep right here. He farting. He snoring. You know what I'm saying? Then I get up, I go in the bathroom, I'm brushing my teeth right here. It's some motherfucker right here shitting. You know what I'm saying? And then there's another nigga right here watching his face. Got his teeth brushing. He choking on the damn toothbrush and shit. He in the shower, 3 stalls down. So it's like, damn. Like, that shit was real, man. Like, nigga, I smelled your shit for 3 years, man. That's what I tell my nigga Rick. I said, nigga, I smelled your shit for 3 years, man. Give me a break. The fuck? That shit was crazy, man.
This needs to be a PSA. This need to be a PSA for people who think going to jail is cool.
Yeah, man, that shit not cool, man. But you know what? I was a tutor and shit in jail. Like I got my GED in jail. I went to college, and they gave me 90 days jail time credit. So I got out a little early.
Okay.
Because I got my GED and went to college, and I passed the college course. Like I passed this business course for financial accounting. And I cheated a little bit because it was a dude in there that helped me. I didn't even cheat. He showed me. Like he taught me a lot of shit. He was in there for embezzling millions. So financial accounting was like his second nature. So I went straight to him. Hey man, give me the game. But it's crazy how much game you can get. He gave me more game than a teacher could give me. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. So I ended up being a tutor, and then the little guy that I was tutoring, he got raped. Little white guy. He ain't here for drug abuse, but his neighbor is in here for murder and he not going home. So there's not a separation of crime. So you put this house right here, you put a gazelle, a deer, and a whole bunch of lions in this motherfucker. Who gonna get ate? You know what I'm saying? There's no separation of crime. So you just putting this little 19-year-old white kid in the jungle with all these predators and shit. And this nigga like manhole. This dude been in, he know he ain't coming home. He like manhole, preferably white boys. You know what I'm saying? The white boy owed him for some Debbie cakes. You know what I'm saying? And he like, hey man, I don't want to get too graphic because I don't know how graphic he get, but he like, hey, you owe down. Like, I ain't gay.
That's actually what I heard too. I wasn't know how true it is. I ain't never been in prison, but the number one rule I've heard from people who've been in prison is don't accept anything from anybody, especially if you don't know them, because when you got to pay everything back, even if it's like a Debbie snack cake or something. They gonna make you pay one way or the other.
Don't accept nothing from nobody if you soft or if you ain't got nobody to back you up.
Yeah,
that's what it is. You can accept shit because some niggas just be cool, but if you soft, they gonna run up your leg, man. And they ran up his leg, man. Dude ended up raping my little dude, man. That shit was. I couldn't even look him in his face when he came back to school. No, I'm just like, damn, man, like this fucked up. Like little white kid, man. Like he gonna go home. He ain't had nothing but like 6 to 18 months in jail. Now he about to go home a totally different person, man. He fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how the justice system is. They feel like crime is crime. But crime is not crime, man. A murder is not equivalent to car thief.
Selling weed or something,
Or selling, it's not. All my bunkies was murderers. I'm in that bitch for running from the police. All my bunkies was murderers. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
It really is, man. But like I said, it's inspirational to know you got out and were able to make the most of it, I guess, in terms of improving your life and being sure that, you know, that shit wouldn't happen again. Because like I said, we all know people who, they, like you said, institutionalized, they come back and they're not the same and they get back in the dirt because they figure their life is over anyway. So it's really good to see you doing well for yourself, man. And we're happy to have you here as well. So yeah, really, really appreciate it. That's good to see, man. Very inspirational.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I mean, I'm gonna make the best out of any situation that I'm in, even in prison. Like even when I was in there, like I just was joking all the time. Like I played too much. Like I played all sports, or I crack on everybody. Like that was my thing. Like that was what we did. We made the best out of our situation. Now you can do that, make the best out of your situation. You ain't gotta necessarily enjoy it, but you can make the best of it. And that's what I did. I made the best of it. I kept myself busy and I didn't let that shit get me down. So you know what I'm saying? But the scariest thing to me about prison is learning that I can do the time.
Yeah.
Now that's scary when you know, like, damn, I did 3.5 years. Like, I could do 3.5 years. I could do 5. Like, when you know that you can do it, like, that's the scary part. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that shit to scare the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? But it made me smart to know that that's a place that I don't never want to go again. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put myself in a position to where I gotta go there. Like a gun was the reason that I went to jail, so I'm not gonna be in no environment where I have to carry a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't even put yourself in that position. You don't have to be. I don't have to be in the hood. I'm old. I'm OG now. What the fuck I'm gonna be doing in the hood for? Hanging out with a gun on me and doing young nigga shit. Like, you know, when they get 20 years, when they get 10 years, they'll be my age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I get 10 years, I'll be their daddy age. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand that.
I feel you, man. And like I said, you got a really inspirational story. You really should talk to somebody about making a TV show or something, man, because like that's really like it had all the ups and downs of a drama series, man. You know, you doing your thing, you get down for a minute, you come back. It's a nice happy ending at the end. So yeah, that's very inspirational story, man. I'm glad you were here to share with us.
For sure, man. You already know.
I got to ask you, man, because you was a real street nigga, man. So you know, you rapping and all that. Somebody hit you up for a verse and willing to pay you $200,000 for a verse. You find out this dude is Tekashi 6ix9ine. He want a verse from Shank for $200,000 for his album. Are you doing this verse?
If I'm me, who I am right now, and I'm not famous, I'm just Shank. That's a hard motherfucker. $200,000. I could do a lot with $200,000. Shit.
So you hopping on Tekashi 6ix9ine song called Rats, featuring Shank.
Nope. If I hop on it, I'm gonna talk about him.
You know,
now you ain't say no stipulations to it. I'll diss him on his own shit.
Oh, that's
exactly
funny.
what I do. That's exactly what I do. I hop on that bitch and diss him on his own shit. Yeah, you want me on your shit? Yeah, I get send a wire the bread, man. I got you. Wire half of the money now, and then he asked for a verse. There ain't no stipulations in the contract to where I can't say what I want to say. And once he wired me the 100, I don't need the other 100. I'm cool. If you don't want to see me the other, you can charge me for the other 100. I don't give a fuck. I'll sue you for it. I did my part. I can't beat him up because I know what he gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about Tekashi 6ix9ine that people hate to admit is the nigga made a valid point about a lot of shit. He said, this is the one point I don't give a fuck. I'm a real nigga. I'm gonna say if it's valid, it's valid. He like, man, y'all, what is it, like certain levels to snitching? Because I see niggas dealing with snitches all the time. Y'all just don't like me. He like, Meek Mill, you went to court with a snitch. A snitch represents you.
Yeah.
A snitch represents the whole Rock Nation. And he pulled the lady up and he pulled her case up and she wore a wire on a cartel. He like, but y'all fuck with her, but y'all don't fuck with me. And I'm like, damn. How do you respond to that? Y'all tell me.
Max B just got exposed for snitching, and I didn't see nearly the same outrage as I saw for Tekashi, man. So I'm like, y'all like Max B, so that's why it's different. But
Max B just got exposed?
Yeah, man. Like it was pretty indeed. People came out. I got to look up the details, but basically they pulled the court documents that prove that he told on some people, and the energy was way different. People were like, man, you know, it's still free my nigga. It's still free Max B. I'm like, nah, man. It was different when it was 6ix9ine. So just admit it. You ain't like him in the first place, and that's why it's different. But there's a lot of snitches in the game, man. You know
Look
it.
At Alpo.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He doing donuts in a Harley through Harlem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cold game,
you, man. Yeah, like he made a valid ass point, man. Whether we like it or not, the nigga made a valid point. It ain't got nothing to do with a nigga liking him or dislike. He made a valid point. Like this is a fact. This is not his opinion. This is a fact. I don't like him, so I don't like him I don't like him as a person. So I wouldn't do no song with him because as a person, he's a bitch ass nigga to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he provokes shit and he know he a bitch and he know he don't want no smoke, and he not gonna catch no work. So, and you provoking these real gangsters.
Yeah.
And you poking at them.
Yeah, that
So
was
I wouldn't
his rise to the top. For real. He got with
Yeah.
a certain group to, provoke everybody else. And then when that crew get knocked up, then he like, nah, that was on them.
So all the shit that was happening to him while he was with them niggas, the Bloods or whatever, he deserved it. Cause nigga, you in the game that you know you don't supposed to be in, and you poking the bear. You poking the bears, man, and you ain't really about that shit. So yeah, they took your shit, they robbed you, they fucked your baby mama, they did all this shit because you in the game that you don't need to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel sorry for him at all, but he made a valid point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't fuck with him at all. Like period. Like that nigga, he's the worst. He a problem, man.
Yeah.
That nigga's a problem. That nigga's a problem for the society, man. Joe, that nigga, I do not fuck with that dude. His face irritate me now.
Yeah. I'm glad he flopped too, just so we won't have any other fake 6ix9ines come up, because I feel like if he came out and he would have went platinum off his album, like we would have a whole bunch of people doing that same shit too, trying to call out people, and then when you get jammed up, go snitch on everybody. So yeah, I'm glad he's pretty much done now, but
yeah,
is what
man.
it is.
He made a mockery out of they gang, man. And one thing that I respect more than anything is gang.
Yeah.
I respect that shit because that's their way of life. And them niggas, that's like this is that's not just it's not just a gang or a family to them. Like that's a way of life for them. Like how we live, how our morals and how we was raised, that's how they live, like the Bloods and Crips and shit like that. That's their everyday life, man. And you made a mock, like that's like their religion.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that shit like that's like religion in them. You don't go in the mines and make fun of Allah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't respect him. I don't like him for doing what he did, man. I got respect for them people, man.
I feel you, man. We don't want to hold you up too long, man. I know you got things to do, people to see, but
Sweetest day.
We really appreciate.
Yeah, niggas don't celebrate that shit in Texas.
Wait, what's today?
Sweetest
day.
Swedish Day. What's that?
It's like I guess it's like a male version of Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
But it's a Midwest thing.
Like your girl get you something today instead of
take you out to eat and shit.
Wait, why don't we celebrate that here? I want that.
But see, that's the real definition. But like people argue about this shit every year, talking about, oh yeah, it should be for anybody, and oh my man get me something for Sweetest Day and all that other shit. It's just another day to get gifts. Women don't really follow the rules like that.
Oh man.
So yeah. yeah.
We need that. We need a male's Valentine's Day, man. They try to do that steak and the blowjob day, and that shit fucking that shouldn't be no special event for one day a year.
That should be a regular Tuesday.
Yeah, you thirsty. Yeah. All right, but we really appreciate you coming on, man. We gotta do this again. Really inspirational stories. I had a good time listening to them, man. So really appreciate you jumping on. We gotta do this again soon, man.
Yeah, whenever you come down, man, just stop through.
Oh, for sure, man. And tell Fig to play that Golden for you one time, man.
Okay.
For you. Yeah, he got a song called Golden. Everything goes.
Play that. I forgot about that song, man.
Yeah.
I gotta hear that now, man. I gotta hear that. The whole podcast gotta hear that.
Yeah,
I gotta look for it now.
You gonna find it. All right, well, Shank, tell the people where they can find you, man.
Man, on Instagram, RTN_Shank, or on Twitter, Young Shank, Facebook, Young Shank, everything RTN Shank or Young Shank, man. You know, YouTube, all that.
Sound good, man.
Mhm.
So, like I said, we appreciate having you on, man. Gotta do it again. Gender Juice Spotlight, Artist Spotlight with RTN Shank. Thanks again, man. Really appreciate it.
Man, same here, man. Go Browns, baby. We 4-1.
Sir. All right, cool. Man, appreciate it, bro, man. This was perfect.